Tacoma's horribly overstated payload capacity. Well, good morning, everybody. How are you today? Pretty good here, and that's right. Toyota has a horribly overstated payload capacity. Now, let me say, first off, I am not sponsored by that company. It's just an example. But I put it in there to emphasize how low the real payload capacity of the Toyota Tacoma really is. Now, there's a few things you need to consider to determine the real hauling or payload weight capacity of your Toyota Tacoma. Now, what I'm talking about, of course, is what you can fit in the bed right here, right? And when I look at these numbers, I have horribly overstated the amount of weight that a Tacoma can hold, right? Now, first of all, I don't know if you've ever noticed, but if you look inside your door here, you're probably gonna see one of these little yellow stickers. And it says right here, caution, load carrying capacity reduced. And it's due to modifications. Apparently, on my original truck, it was reduced by 2 whopping pounds. Now, I have seen that higher before. Depends on what model you have and what you've put on it. Obviously, anything that you add to the truck, including yourself, we'll get to that in a minute, is going to reduce the carrying capacity, the payload capacity of the truck. Now, I added side steps on here. They certainly weigh more than 2 pounds. I'm not exactly sure what the 2 pounds was that they're referring to, but I've reduced the payload capacity by just putting those on. They're probably, they probably come in at about 40 pounds, maybe a little bit less, maybe 25 to 30 pounds between the two of them and the hardware. But let's take a look. I've got a little example up here for you on my whiteboard. So again, as I said earlier, my Tacoma's payload capacity is 1,440 pounds. That's what the truck can hold if you've added nothing to it and you're not in it, right? So what I've done, little drama there, I've gone ahead, it ripped my letters off. But anyway, I've reduced that number by the 2 pounds that it says were added because of modifications, whatever that is. Next up, you're gonna be in it, right? And you might have, let's just say I used 4 guys as an example. And let's say those 4 guys weigh, I don't know, about 200 pounds each. Yeah, I'm starting to push that myself. It's time for a diet. But anyway, that's 800 pounds of weight, right? Before you've put anything in the bed. That's just you and your buddies out going to pick something up. I don't know. So what does that give us then? If you look down here, that gives us 638 pounds available to put in the back of that Tacoma. That is not much. So the true payload capacity given this scenario is 638 pounds. Actually, if I just said that my side steps weighed, let's go with 38 pounds, it's really 600 pounds. So let's say that you're running off to the store and you're gonna pick up some mulch. You know, a lot of us use mulch and stuff, right? I've done it, I don't know how many times. What can you put in there? Well, a typical bag of mulch, I know this because I did my research, weighs about 40 pounds if it's wet, right? So if you look down here, you can see that you can actually haul 16 bags of mulch. 16 bags. You know, that is not much. So how many times have you gone out, bought mulch or something else? I actually have had, I think 2-3 loads or something like that of dirt that I've carried around in previous Tacomas that I've had. Now, if I'm not mistaken, a bucket full of dirt, you know, those little loaders they pull up and drop into your truck while you nervously watch as it dips down. Have you done that? I have. But anyway, one of those buckets, assuming it's not soaking wet, is about 1,600 to 1,900 pounds, right? Now that's more than the capacity of the truck before I put myself in it. So you've already exceeded the capacity of the truck. And I'll tell you, I have heard stories of guys, gals taking their trucks in because they have some sort of broken suspension, right, part, like a leaf spring or maybe even a shock. shock starts leaking, something like that, and the shop has denied it. Now, it's well within their rights to do so, because if you happen to let it out that you hauled, I don't know, 30 bags of mulch, have you ever done that? I have. 30 bags of mulch in the back, or maybe a load or two of dirt, you've already admitted that you've exceeded the hauling or payload capacity of your Tacoma. It's your fault. Now, I know a lot of people will cry and complain that it doesn't haul enough, that's not enough, a truck should be able to haul more than that. Well, that's all good and well, but when you signed that paperwork and bought that truck, you accepted that it could only haul that much. They don't usually give you credit for what you think it should do, right? But it is horribly overstated, I think, and it's not just Toyota with the Tacoma. All the manufacturers do this, of course. And don't get me wrong, there's a tolerance. I mean, it's not like if you go 1 pound over, your shocks are going to blow out. But even so, to state that the payload capacity, the hauling capacity is 1,440 pounds, less whatever mods you happen to add, is crazy. Because first of all, at least you are going to be sitting in the truck, right? And if you weigh 200 pounds-ish, you can reduce that weight by 200 pounds to start right off. So realistically, with just one person in the truck, using 200 pounds as an average, the true payload capacity of the Tacoma is about 1,240 pounds. Let's forget the 40 pounds. Let's just make it an even 1,200. Not a ton of weight. However, that is 30 bags, 30, 40-pound bags of mulch. And I think, if I recall, every time I had gone to get mulch, I think they typically recommended 30 bags or so. Can't say I always stayed at that. I always tried to get more. And if you're standing out there and they load your truck and it looks like it could take a few more bags, how many of you have said, yeah, give me 10 more? Well, now you're what? 400 pounds overweight? I don't know. I've done it. Gotta say, I've never had any problems doing it. I don't know that I would recommend doing it frequently. I think if you do it 1 or 2 times on a fairly smooth road where you're not going to be hitting a lot of bumps and really working that suspension, you're probably going to be okay. But I have experienced the truck hitting the little stops underneath, right? If you've ever looked underneath the truck and you see these little rubber things under there, that's what the truck would hit if it's overextended. I've done that myself. Not a great thing to do, but hey, it's a truck, right? Anyway, leave a comment. I'd be curious to know, have you done this? Have you overextended the capabilities of your Tacoma? And did you really think that if anything went wrong, it was the dealer or the manufacturer's fault? I'd be curious to know. Also, real quick, if you're interested, I do have 2 additional channels. My newest channel is RobMotive Tundra. It's all about what are going to be, I guess, the experiences with the new redesigned Tundra that I will be buying for that channel. In the meantime, we're going to talk about news and rumors and gossip and whatever else. Also, I have RobMotive JT, all about my 2020 Jeep Gladiator. Check them out, and if you're interested, please consider subscribing. Don't forget to click that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. And do me a favor, smash that subscribe button on the way out. Thanks for watching. Stay underweight out there.